This is a DNA sequencer. During a starship's travels, many different organisms and artifacts are discovered, and a DNA sequencer can come in quite handy in analyzing them. But mostly it just gets used to make sure the food replicators are working properly and not brewing up anything that might hatch and grow inside you, for instance. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are merely non-functional screen dressing. Pretty cool looking, eh?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
Come on, Jebba, be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a StarCon regulation.
Jebba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow with an internal skeleton is interesting. He's the main research attendant here in the sickbay.
Jeez, Jebba, who's gonna know? Let me try this one thing. I'll be out of your way. No one will find out.
I don't know, Mr. Wilco. I'm not one to break regulations. I really don't think it's a good idea.
I swear, it'll only take a minute. We're out in the middle of nowhere. No one will find out. And I'll tell you what, anytime you want it, one free plunge job, day or night. What do you say?
Well, I don't know.
It'll only take a minute or two, really. Come on, Jebba, be a pal.
Well, okay, but just this once. If anyone finds out I'm sunk, then I'll come looking for you to take it out on. Keep that in mind.
No problem. I'll be done in a flash.
I really don't know why I'm doing this.
It's a case of something you don't care about. It's a scale. No, you can't weigh yourself. It's a medibunk. This is where all ill or injured crew members are treated. It's also where they bring all the guys in the red shirts, or what's left of them, after they've suffered their inevitable calamities. It's just a crate. Apparently, the doctor is way busy as he completely ignores you. You get a jump on senility by mumbling to yourself. Your words cause everything to become speechless. How dynamic of you. As in all locations aboard the Deepship 86, a compost is located here. Ever since stairs were banned during the Ford administration, composts have been a necessity.
Neat. I've always wanted to try one of these on the compost. Oh, hi, Stellar. I hope your back's feeling better.
They just finished treating me, and it is starting to feel better. However, I was told to lay off rescuing people for a while, especially you. So, did you have any luck?
I got some information from the sample I ran through the DNA sequencer. When I tried it, all I got was a name. All it said after that was that the file is closed. I wonder why that is.
I don't know for sure, Roger, but it seems a bit suspicious. When a file is marked like that, there's usually a very good reason. Most frequently, it indicates the file is closed for intelligence purposes, or it's legally sealed by some judicial body. In the case of those tubs of guts that grabbed you, I'd have to say it's not a government agency directly behind it. It sounds more like someone with access from the outside to a friend or two inside. A more paranoid person might say this smells way wrong.
Then again, when did you last change your socks?
If the files are sealed, then we have nothing to go on.
True. The only thing I can think of is that they may be accessible by jacking into cyberspace. I've never done it, but I know it can be done.
So I guess this means you won't be trying it first. I'd love to try it, but I can't since we don't know how.
Well, actually, I read it can be done with the help of a cyber jack and headset and a cyberspace jack interface module. The article said there are several things to access out there and that there's a vast library of files to browse. It said that the Information Superhighway project is a little behind schedule, but that there are some operative areas. Other than that, I don't have a clue as to how we can gain any information about them.
So you think this cyberspace thing could work?
Well, I can only tell you what I've read. Navigating it takes a little patience, but I think it's the only option you have. I don't know if you'll locate a cyberjack and headset. Because of the delays in the project, they've become more like collector's items than marketable, functionable products.
We do have cyberjack modules built into the compost.
That's true. Of course, we won't know anyway without the jack.
That bites. I wonder where we could find one of those.
I wish I knew, Roger. There must be some place.
Attention! We are now orbiting the Delta Berxilon 5 colony as requested by StarCon. Most of you know your assignments as they have been broadcast to your composts. Please represent StarCon properly. Kilbasa, out.
You better get moving since you don't know yet what your assignment is. I have some checking around to do. We'll talk later.
Thanks, Stellar. I'll see you soon. Maybe we can work in that dinner.
Your quarters are cozy and intimate, yet spacious. That's one of the advantages of living in a converted cargo hold. This is a Beetlejuice clamoring hagfish fern. You've tried everything you could think of to get it back to health. Unfortunately, all you could think of to do was to stand over it and say, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Why do all these starships come with shimmery sheets? What's so futuristic and wonderful about shimmery sheets? They wake you up at night. They're cold and slippery. And the worst thing is getting up every morning with sequins imprinted all over your face. What's up with that? These are your boots. Wait a second, you're already wearing your boots. You've been meaning to do this laundry for several months. Now it's permanently stuck to the floor. Wow, it's the old translating gadget you used to communicate with the subterranean alien back on the planet Corona in Space Quest 1. Too bad they don't make those little dilithium watch batteries anymore. Ooh, it's your old Autobucks card from your shopping spree at the Galaxy Galleria after you saved the latex babes from that hideous sea slug in Space Quest 4. It's expired, unfortunately, but then you don't need much money aboard the Deepship. Besides, people would talk if they saw you dressed that way again. Say it's the old hint book you found in the bargain bin at the software store in Space Quest 4. Looky, it's your old Labion Terror Beast mating whistle from Space Quest 2. Whoa, it's the star generator remote control you found aboard the Sarian ship during Space Quest 1. Hey, it's the Pocket Pal terminal you filched from an abandoned land speeder on Xenon during Space Quest 4. Hey, here's that pack of matches you stole from the Eulance Flats bar when you returned to Space Quest 1 during the time travel sequence in Space Quest 4. It's a discarded cigar stub from the Galaxy Galleria in Space Quest 4. Wow, it's your official employment rejection letter from Sierra Online at the end of Space Quest 3. It just says, "Not a chance," and it's signed by Ken Williams. It's a medical reference of janitor-specific ailments, diseases of the genitalia. Holy cow! It's your Golden Mop Award for your feats of daring do in Space Quest 1. You saw this detailed die-cast model of an early StarCon Solar Scout in Milky Way today, StarCon's in-flight magazine. It seemed like a great investment at the time. Your quarters are cozy and intimate, yet spacious. That's one of the advantages. Your kitchen is in here, complete with garbage disposal, solid waste regenerator, and cockroaches. You had tickets to see Quasar live in concrete with Beatrice. That was before you got busted back down to janitor and assigned to this dad-blasted floating heck hole of a mother-talking spaceship. A note, this game has scrupulously avoided any rough language that would result in having to be rated as an adults-only computer or video game by the Game Censorship Board of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee. You never learned how to work these controls. That's why you keep everything that should be in the closet scattered around the room.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Wilco, Commander Kilbasa here. I have a special assignment for you. A crew person of special skills is required on Delta Berxalon 5. In the spirit of StarCon cooperation, we have decided to offer them your assistance. Transport there immediately. Kilbasa out.
Okay, I'm ready. Energize!
Commander Kielbasa and that other guy look like they're just finishing up a conversation.
Janitor Wilco, Dr. Bellows and I were just talking about you. Please report to Sharpay's quarters, Janitor Wilco. She is in need of someone with your special skill set. Be quick about it.
Yes, sir. Janitor second class, Roger Wilco, reporting as ordered, ma'am.
Wilco, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Wilco, I expected you here some time ago. I've been kept waiting for minutes now.
I'm very sorry,
Save the pathetic whimperings for your StarCon superiors, which I would expect includes everyone and everything on the food chain over there.
Ma'am, I came as...
Young man, I lack the time, and most importantly, the patience to indulge you as you whine your way from one excuse to the next. May we please just begin?
Sorry, but I wasn't briefed on what tasks would be required of me.
You are a janitor, Mr. Wilco. What do you think I want from you, a heart transplant? What has become of StarCon? When my fifth husband, Admiral Bluntfang, served, the crop of up-and-coming cadets seemed to have such promise. I recall this one rather striking cadet who... Oh, well, never mind that. But you... I pray you do not typify what might be slithering down the halls of our formerly prestigious academy. That is one thing I do not look forward to witnessing. Get to work, Mr. Wilco. You'll find a mop and a bucket right over there. I have no time to devote to your education. That would take a lifetime, and the most copious amount of patience a universe could muster. My life is soon to expire. Please, just clean. I must rest now. Mr. Wilco, please rattle the handle on that commode. It is positively maddening.
You got it, right away, ma'am. Whatever I can do.
Please do it, and quietly. I must have my rest.
You as a janitor would only have a clue as to what was contained in those bottles if the content showing through them resembled some sort of waste product or cleaning supply. A contaminated waste items receptacle stands awaiting contaminated waste items. It's some sort of medical unit. You don't know what it is. After all, you're a janitor, not a doctor, damn it. It looks like a heart monitor. It must be amazingly sensitive since this crusty old beast appears rather heartless. The wrinkled one rests quietly in her crapomatic adjustable bed. It looks like an empty specimen jar. Maybe later, if you find some free time, you could give it a fill. Keeps the techs guessing. Seems like a few sequels since we've been in any bathrooms. I know what you've been thinking. You're probably thinking, have they waited 4 sequels to do bathroom humor? Or has it been just 3? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the sequel-generating excitement, we've kind of lost track ourselves. So you've got to ask yourself just one question. Are they hard up enough to resort to that level of humor at this point in the game? Nah, not yet. That is, we like to think we've slithered up a fair number of floors from the basement level of the comedic food chain. Either that or it's one of those relative things. Maybe it's because Al just continues to lower the basement. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Mr. Wilco, it is time for me to take my meds. Please fetch my trisonic sortium from the medicine cabinet.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I can get this old hag to overdose.
What was that, janitor?
Nothing, ma'am. I'll get those for you right away. I can't find her medicine. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Hey, what the...
While we await a fully formed thought from Roger, it should be mentioned that there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent.
Hey, there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent. I seem to be in a world of deep... Ah, jeez, the door!
You give the piston a yank, and sure enough, it comes loose in your hands. Perhaps it was your raw strength. More than likely, it was defective. Good thinking! Wedged in the door, the manual override control causes the piston to strain against the door. It pushes a few inches and seems to strain at that point.
Wilco!
Oh, hi, Stellar. What are you doing here?
There's no time to talk, Roger. We've got to get out of here now. 1, 2, 3.
Just as you crash to the floor of the turbo shaft, the hydro riser piston gives way, and the door slams shut, with Stellar still trapped inside. You claw and pull at the seams of the bulkhead door, but to no avail. Just then, you hear and feel an explosion which seems to have come from behind the door. The door is sealed tight. You can hear no other noise after the ear ringing from the blast subsides.
My God! I can't believe this! It can't be happening! She was... I was... Stellar!
It's hard to believe that this is the Hollow Suite. The setting is much like the graphics you've scanned in the library from those planets more interesting in their climatic diversity. From the scenic jutting peaks, soft hills, and lake in the conjured distance to the lush, pixelized growth of trees, flowers, and grass in the foreground, the holodeck has that sublime park-like perfection. Unfortunately, its serene beauty is sadly negated by the headstones and the solemn event about to occur, the laying to rest of your rescuer and true friend, Stellar Santiago. You are feeling as you have never felt before, perhaps helped along by the relatively short stints aboard the various ships, as well as all too brief friendships. You've been spared the emotional devastation of true loss by lack of attachment. This, however, is a different feeling. Far different from anything you've ever experienced. You can't help but wonder how you'd act towards Stellar given a second chance. But you know that can never happen. She gave her life for you, and you will never be able to thank her. Enough smarm already. Let's funeral!
Ladies and/or gentlemen, we assemble here today to honor the memory of a former crewmate, Lieutenant First Class Stellar Santiago. Her unfortunate death takes place in the shadow of a new community, the dawning of a new life for the aged of our galaxy. Although death is never easy to accept, we must remember that the tragic accident which took her from our midst occurred while she was on duty. If a member of StarCon must perish for some reason, there is no more honorable way. It is part of the oath we recite and take to heart when we pledge our allegiance. I believe her friend, Janitor Second Class Roger Wilco, has a few words he'd like to say. Mr. Wilco?
I only knew Stellar for a short time. I wish I, could have gotten to know her much better. To have had a deeper understanding of this, person. I was proud to have called friend. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my cleaning, hers were the most scuff-resistant.